One wheel is out, so you know what that means. Campground review video. Heading to the front. Welcome to Association Island, up in upstate New York by the Thousand Islands. It's a very, very unique campground because it's an island. I mean, come on. It's the most amazing thing when you come out to an island to stay and then be able to go tour around the area. But just being out here has been absolutely an enjoyable experience. And if you get to come this way, I think you should put this on your radar to come and hang out for a bit. Now, you're probably about 30 minutes from any Walmart or anything like that, but it's so calm, it's so nice. The water's super clear. It's just a unique place. Now, is it big rig friendly? The answer is yes. It is going to be quite a bit of an adventure to come down the hill that comes from this one road that comes down. You got to go down a steep grade hill and you have to make this really sharp turn. So you will need to be slow and patient to make that turn. After make the turn, you have this lovely long causeway to come out to the island. Then you come in for your check-in, of course. Now I'm going to tell you that usually there's a long check-in line due to the fact that everyone's bottlenecks right here. So just be prepared if that happens to you. If you're arriving right at that, I think it's 2 o'clock is check-in. But there's plenty of room that you can do that. They do have a propane station, but where it gets unique is that you can rent boats here for about $350 for a day to go out and explore all the intercoastal right through here, which is a fun little experience to do. But you're also real close to all the other Thousand Islands and the touring of the areas that are in here. That makes it a lot of fun. Let me take you down around. Here's check-in. You just stop here, lots of room. Go in, check in, you got ice and all the normal stuff that you normally have. And then around the corner, we go. They do have golf carts as well, if you need one. And then you have your normal bathhouse. You have a place to get ice cream. They have a little bar and grill there with some fried foods, and then your pool. But the marina is where all the magic happens. Okay. So you can actually bring your own boat if you have a boat, and you'll have a slip to dock it in. You can head out. They have kayaks you can rent. There's plenty of things for the kids to do. It's almost like a summer camp vibe, which is pretty awesome because the kids get to run around the island and do all the different stuff. But spending the time on the water and going out to explore is probably some of the main attraction here because you are on an island. And it's really kicked back. It's fairly quiet. Everyone at nighttime isn't real loud. And it's been around, the island's been around, I believe, since 1999 is when it was taken over as a private RV park. But the problem with that is big rigs. So a lot of the sites are gonna be like 65 foot long. All of them are back in. There is no pull-throughs with the exception of a few right through here, but they're super short. If you have your Class A's or a big rig like ours, it's a tight back end, of course, but you can extend out over the grass, which is great, because then that gives you more room. So where we're parked, which I'll show you here in a second, there has been plenty of room. They also have cabins and also like a lodge where you can actually rent a room out. So, but if you have something smaller, travel trailer, you know, your Airstreams, things like that are great. A lot of the places that are booked up a lot are the outside area where you're along the waterfront. And I'll show you down this direction before we head back to where our RV is. It makes sense though, since the park's been around since 1999. There's only so much expansion that you can do. The history is pretty unique too. It was owned by GE Electric and was used for a meeting spot for a number of years. Then it was a YMC boys camp for about 9 years prior to 1999. And then they took it over. Now it's actually a Sun Outdoors property. So this is the lodge. So there's individual rooms that you can actually rent. What's really cool is the new tiny homes they put in that you can actually rent on the island. Super cool, stylish places that you can just hang out. So if you're coming this way and you don't have an RV, you can still come and stay on the island, which is pretty unique. They do have ice cream, restaurant, bar. That's what I mentioned earlier. But the fact is that this is an area where if you're going to have an event, the area for the event is fairly small. So you have to remember, you know, back in the 90s, things weren't as big as everything is now. Even the pool. But most people don't hang out at the pool because the water's fresh water. So everyone is hanging out because it's fairly shallow water. Everyone's hanging out right off the shorelines. So in their floaties and all the different kayaks and paddle boards and all the different things, because the waves on this side, there's not big waves. Makes it very enjoyable for families to come out and just hang out, sit outside, have a fire. As you can see, I parked the truck here by the bathhouse, and then our RV is parked over there around this corner. And we are, of course, the biggest thing that's in here. And it wasn't too bad. We just made these corners. There's only 2 corners, and then we were able to back in. Some of these other sites, though, may be a challenge depending on the angle that you're going at. But aren't these little homes, they're stinking awesome. They're contemporary looking. I really like their style, what they've done. They even have an outdoor fireplace. So great for families hanging out. You can sit out on the porch. There are also 2, well, I guess 1 main walking trail, and it's at the other end where you could go fishing and then head down a walking trail and just sit down. Not much beach, everything's rocks, and it's very clear water. So let me go back and show you where our site is so you can kind of have an idea of what it looks like. We are tucked in here. It's like a cul-de-sac of multiple, but it was actually pretty easy to back in just around the corner, and then our deck was able to offset to have the overlook of the water. So it just made for great nights to just sit on the back deck, watch the sunset. So you have 2 areas. This is the sunset side, and then you have the sunrise side where we were earlier. So we were on the sunset side. A lot of the people will come over this direction to see the sunsets, but it's just a wonderful place to just come and spend, especially going into all the Thousand Islands to go to see Bolt Castle, to go see Singer Castle, to go into Alexandria Bay, to go out to eat in the small towns that are around here. It's just, I mean, and then sitting out in the water and hanging out with family. It's a good little RV park to find if you're up this direction. Again, Association Island.